fractions and multiplying mixed numbers. We're going to start with fractions. So when you were adding and subtracting fractions, you had to find common denominators always. And when you're adding and subtracting mixed numbers, you always had to find common denominators and then go through the process of adding or subtracting. But with multiplication and with division, you do not have to find common denominators. So if I have a problem like 1/4 times 2/5, I do not have to find common denominators. I don't want to find common denominators. It'll just make my numbers bigger and make this a little thicker. and so it just makes more work, so you don't need to do that. All right? So when you're multiplying fractions, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and I'm going to change my color a little bit. I want you to think about it being like, being like a top and a bottom. Okay? And so what you can do is when you're multiplying, you're going to multiply the numerators and you're going to multiply the denominators and you're going to come up with your answer. And then you're going to simplify. Easy, right? So if I have the fractions 3/4 times 6/9, go ahead and draw your line, put your multiplication, multiply across 18 over 36, and then simplify, which that would be a half if you divided it out and simplified. Now, for those of you that want to make your life a little bit easier, you can always simplify a fraction before you multiply. And let me give you an example. 3/4 can't be simplified, but 6/9 can be simplified. So if I wanted to simplify 6/9, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3, and 2/3 is an equivalent fraction to 6/9. It's just simplified. So I can come back and I can plug that in if I want, and then I can multiply 6/12, and then I can simplify 6/12 instead of 18/36. So you can always simplify your fractions. You don't have to just multiply across and then simplify big numbers. You can do it in chunks. And I'll show you some tricks about that too that'll help you make your job a little easier. But you can always simplify a numerator and a denominator and make it into a simpler form and then multiply across, which makes it a lot easier. Now, when we're dealing with mixed numbers, let me just get my eraser out here. Okay. When we're dealing with mixed numbers like 2 1/4 times 3 1/3, you always have to turn them into improper fractions. You don't multiply 2 times 3 1/4 times 1/3. You won't get the correct answer. You must convert them into improper fractions and then multiply and simplify. So let's convert. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, so 9/4, that's my improper. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, 10/3. Now I can draw my line and I can multiply. 9 times 10 is 90. 4 times 3 is 12. But because it's improper, I have to change it back to a mixed number. This is not simplified. Now, if I want to simplify these two numbers by dividing something into both of those to get them smaller and then change it to a mixed number, I can. Or I can just divide top dog in the house. I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. Let's go with, I'm going to divide each one by 3 because that's something I can see I can do easy. 3 goes into 9 3 times, so that's 30. And 3 goes into 12, 4. Now it's just a little bit simpler, so I can top dog in the house. If you wanted to do 12 into 90 and get it, you can do that. I just made it a little bit simpler. 4 goes into 30 7 times, which is 28. So my answer, here's my whole, 7 and 2/4. Now your last thing you have to do once you convert this improper into a mixed number is you have to look at your fraction and see if you can simplify it, which I can. I can divide 2 into 2 and 2 into 4, and I can get 7, and I'll give you your new one, and 1/2 is my final answer. So let's look at it again. Mixed numbers, you must convert them into improper fractions. Then you can multiply numerators, just like you did before. Multiply denominators, put your answer over. Top dog goes in the house, so you can put 90 divided by 12. You'll get the same answer. Or you can simplify the top and the bottom. You could even simplify this down even more, top and bottom, and then do top dog. Either way, it's going to work out to the same answer. If I saw, oh, I can divide by 2 here and 2 there and get my next fraction, and I wanted to do that, I could do that also. And as long as I convert it back to a mixed number. Okay? So we'll be working on those with multiplication as we get into this new section.